An academic year refers to the duration in which educational institutions provide structured instruction and engage in academic activities. An academic year, or school year, is a period that schools, colleges, and universities use to measure the duration of studies for a given educational level. Academic years are often divided into academic terms. Students attend classes and do relevant exams and homework during this time, which comprises school days, days when there is education, and school holidays, when there is a break from education. The duration of school days, holidays, and school year varies across the world. The days in the school year depend on the state or country. For example, in Maryland, USA, there are 180 days in a school year, but in Minnesota, USA there are 165 days in the year. Academic calendar is a schedule of all of the events that occur in an academic year. These events may include examination dates, spring break or reading week and the last day of the semester. Academic calendars and the dates included can be presented at the semester level or as part of an academic year-long calendar. Academic calendar refers to dates and events that a post-secondary institution operates around. Most academic calendars include the add, withdraw, and drop deadlines for each session within each semester. A school day is a day when school is open. Governments often legislate on the total number of school days in a year for government-funded, i.e., not private, schools. School holidays. Christmas vacation redirects here. For the 1989 film, see National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Winter vacation redirects here. For the 2010 film, see Winter Vacation, film. School holidays, also referred to as vacations, breaks, and recess, are periods during which schools are closed or no classes or other mandatory activities are held. The dates and periods of school holidays vary considerably throughout the world, and there is usually some variation even within the same jurisdiction. The holidays given below apply to primary and secondary education. Teaching sessions, terms or semesters, in tertiary education are usually longer. Spring vacation. In the Northern Hemisphere, many school districts have traditionally offered a week-long vacation in the spring, often called spring vacation or spring break. In parochial schools and jurisdictions that follow a Christian religious tradition, the vacation may be described as an Easter holiday, which starts on Good Friday and continues through the subsequent week. Summer vacation. In the Northern Hemisphere, the longest break in the educational calendar is in the middle of the year, during the northern summer, and lasting up to 14 weeks. In Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, and Russia, summer holidays typically last 3 months, compared to 6 to 8 weeks in Britain, the Netherlands, and Germany. In India, summer holidays typically span a duration of 1 to 2 months, extending from May to June. In the Southern Hemisphere, the longest break in the educational calendar is in the beginning of the year, during the southern summer, and lasts up to 14 weeks, from December 21st to March 20th. Common practices and effects. Traffic congestion and heavy passenger loads on public transport on school-run routes may be worse on school days during term time. Summer holidays for most children are a time to relax, enjoy themselves, catch up on studies, or spend time with family or relatives. Many families travel together on school holidays. School holidays have many effects on a country, ranging from the price of travel and holiday accommodation, which increase as demand increases while children are off school, to a change in crime rate. The number of families taking holidays away from urban areas can reduce traffic and use of public transport in cities while loading long-distance highways and means of transport. In some countries where many families travel to their holiday destinations, such as the Netherlands, the start and end dates of school holidays in different regions are staggered to reduce the heavy traffic and pressure on means of transport that would otherwise occur on these dates. An academic term, or simply term, is a portion of an academic year during which an educational institution holds classes. The schedules adopted vary widely. Common terms such as semester, trimester, and quarter are used to denote terms of specific durations. In most countries, the academic year begins in late summer or early autumn and ends during the following spring or summer. Description: an academic year is the time during which an educational institution holds classes. An academic term is a portion of the academic year. The schedules adopted vary widely. Types: semester, trimester, and quarter are all types of academic terms, the last two being mainly confined to American English, each differentiated by their duration as described below. Semester, originally German, where it referred to a university session of 6 months, adopted into American usage in the early 19th century as a half-year term of typically 15 to 18 weeks. Used in the US and other countries to refer to the two main periods into which the academic year is divided at some universities. Trimester, used in the US and Canada to refer to one of the three terms into which the academic year is divided at some universities. Quarter, used in American English to refer to one of four terms into which the academic year is divided at some universities. Academic terms by country. In most countries, the academic year begins in late summer or early autumn and ends during the following spring or summer. In Northern Hemisphere countries, this means that the academic year lasts from August, September, or October to May, June, or July. In Southern Hemisphere countries, the academic year aligns with the calendar year, lasting from February or March to November or December. The summer may or may not be part of the term system. The academic year commences 3 working days before the beginning of classes in the fall semester and ends on the spring commencement day of the college calendar. Academic year appointees are expected to be available throughout this period when classes are in session or when other scheduled events require their presence on campus. They are also expected to render appropriate services such as advising students, training teaching assistants, preparing class materials, evaluating student performance and submitting grades and preparing reports for the academic year. An academic year is a period which the educational institutes, schools and universities use to measure a quantity of study. The academic year form have the start and end date for the academic year. A period of time usually consisting of 2 semesters or 3 quarters or trimesters, each with a certain amount of credit hours. That period of time from the opening of fall semester to the closing of the next spring semester is the academic year. Summer session is specifically excluded. The period of the year during which there are school or university classes. The period which includes the fall semester and spring semester, a separate summer session, not part of the academic year, is held, with dates as noted in the academic calendar, college or university year, a year of learning in a higher education establishment. The period during which school is in session, consisting of at least 30 weeks of instructional time. The school year typically runs from the beginning of September through the end of May at most colleges and universities. A list of important dates and deadlines for the academic period beginning in September and ending at the end of the following August. Usually, consecutive fall and spring semesters, currently August through April, sometimes, however, summer semester is included in the term academic year. In Florida, the summer term precedes fall and spring semesters in the school year. For example, summer 1996, fall 1996, and spring 1997 terms constitute academic year 1996 to 97. This is a measure of the academic work to be accomplished by the student. The school defines its own academic year, but the federal regulations set minimum standards for the purpose of determining SFA awards. For instance, the academic year at a term school must be at least 2 semesters, 2 trimesters, or 3 quarters and must include at least 30 weeks of instructional time. Unlike the award year, an academic year does not have to begin and end at the same time for all students. As an example, one student might enroll as a full-time student in September and complete 1 academic year of study in May, while another student might enroll as a half-time student in January and take twice as long to complete an academic year. A time period of at least 30 instructional weeks in which a full-time undergraduate student is expected to complete, 24 semester or trimester hours or 36 quarter hours at an institution using credit hours in an educational program whose length is measured in credit hours, or at least 900 clock hours at an institution using clock hours. There is an exception to the 30-week requirement for schools with at least a 2-year or 4-year academic program that leads to an associate or bachelor's degree. Those schools may request, in writing, that ED reduce the minimum period of instructional time of the academic year for any of its programs as long as they are at least 26 weeks in length. This is a measure of academic work to be accomplished by a student. A school defines its own academic year, but federal statute and regulations set minimum standards to determine federal financial aid awards. For instance, the academic year must be at least 30 weeks of instructional time in which a full-time student is expected to complete at least 24 semester or trimester credit hours, 36 quarter credit hours, or 900 clock hours. The school year, normally comprised of the fall and spring semesters. The summer term is a separate period, not included in the academic year. You should always apply for financial aid for the academic year, and, if you decide to attend summer school, you must apply separately for aid for summer. A period of time schools uses to measure a quantity of study. For example, a school's academic year may consist of a fall and spring semester, during which a student must complete 24 semesters. Hours. Academic years vary from school to school, and even from educational program to educational program at the same school. Time in which a full-time student should complete 2 semesters, 2 trimesters, or 3 quarters at a college, university, technical or vocational school. 2 full semesters, starting in the fall and continuing into the spring, e.g., fall 94 and spring 95 equals I-94-95, does not include summer. A period of time in which a full-time student is expected to complete the equivalent of at least 24 semester or trimester hours or 36 quarter hours at a school which measures academic progress in credit hours and uses semester, trimester, or quarter system. A measure of academic work to be accomplished by a student. A school defines its own academic year, but federal regulations set minimum standards schools must adhere to if they wish to award federal financial aid funds. For instance, the academic year must be at least 30 weeks of instructional time in which a full-time student is expected to complete at least 24 semester or trimester hours, 36 quarter hours, or 900 clock hours. The period of formal instruction, usually late August/early September through late May/early June, may be divided into terms of varying lengths, semesters, trimesters, or quarters. A period of at least 30 weeks of instructional time during which a full-time student is expected to complete at least 24 semester or trimester hours, or at least 36 quarter hours, at an institution that measures program length in credit hours, or at least 900 clock hours at an institution that measures program length in clock hours. The period of learning, either theoretical through formal instruction or specialized training. The academic year in the UK usually extends from June to April. It may be divided into semesters, higher education courses, tri-semesters, specialized courses such as MBA, or quarters, schools. The period of time each year when the school is open and people are studying. The time period containing the academic sessions held during consecutive summer, fall, and spring semesters. The period during which school is in session, consisting of at least 30 weeks of instructional time. The measure of the academic work to be accomplished by a student each year as defined by the school. For instance, at a school that uses terms, the academic year must contain at least 30 weeks of instructional time in which a full-time student is expected to complete at least 24 semester or trimester hours, 36 quarter hours, or 900 clock hours. This term refers to the period from the beginning of the fall semester through the end of the spring semester. It is synonymous with a 9-month appointment.